Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen on YouTube. This is Jedi Guy. I wanted to make this video for the past 9 months. I'd like to present to you all the Wolf's Fang, my own personal lightsaber. I'd like to go over some of the outside details of the lightsaber before we get to the inside. Over here we have a D-ring. You can see the electrical tape around the pommel, connecting it to the grip section. The pommel, I was being dumb the first time I constructed the lightsaber, and I forgot that sometimes when the lightsaber swings back and forth on my hip, it can unthread the pommel. So it did unthread, and this fluted section hit the ground, and because it's made of aluminum, it dented. Silly cat. So I took it into Brandondale, who sawed off a good section of it, and I was planning on putting a crazy glue or Loctite on it, but it turns out that while he was tightening it to try and get the threads to fit together properly, he actually got it stuck, and that was actually, I couldn't have asked for anything better. One of the few times where people think it's a mistake, but this is actually what I prefer. And the electrical tape gives it a little bit of character. And I wanted my lightsaber to reflect me, so I didn't want it to be perfect because I am far from perfect. I wanted it to be rough. I wanted it to be scuffed up, but I didn't want it to be fake. Every one of the nicks, scratches, scuffs, impurities, problems that you see with this lightsaber, any of the less than perfections are not purposefully done. This is just how it turned out. So yeah, this leather grip section is from, first of all, underneath this is a 6-inch fluted extension with leather wrap wrapped around it. I used JB Weld. I got another video explaining the grips. Then we have a double male adapter here, and another extension here for the 2 buttons, a choke point to make it easier to twirl, then a kind of Mace Windu sort of styled emitter with Graflex-inspired Shroud over top with the wolf ears to give it a little bit of more personality, so to speak. I also put a stainless steel thumb screw as a blade retention screw, because I'm not a fan of having to take a tool out to do this every single time. You can see here a 3D printed blade holder. It's meant to represent a plane's air turbine. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into it. First up, the sound font is Corellian, I believe. Now you guys are gonna see it probably as blue on camera, but this is purple. These are illuminated anti-vandal switches, but I didn't really want to illuminate them because that'll drain the battery quite a bit, and it's already being drained. Press the auxiliary switch and the main button at the same time, or hold this one and then click this one, and it changes the color. I can have up to 13 color presets, but I only chose to have 2. Purple and red. So there's that. Then we have your swing effects, clashes. 1 second. Blaster deflection, saber lockup, and then we have force effects. So we're going to move on rather quickly because my phone's crap.
Thank you, old friend.
Reborn. I've always felt that red best suits this sound font just for that ignition. Blaster deflection, saber lockup, swings, clashes, color changing, force effects, Then we move on to the next one is Rogue, my favorite. And now that it's got a bass speaker, this is going to sound so much better. Yes. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually feeling a vibration on my hand from the bass speaker. That's how loud it is. Just like... This one doesn't have color changing as a sound effect, so I stole from Corellian. That's why you hear the hum change. So, anyway. Then we have Lignan. Another great font. And we have Nextor. This one's fun to use. And now for my custom sound font. It's not technically done yet. It's Rogue, amped up like 25 times, and then I added some wolf sound effects. And for those of you who are Underworld, Rise of the Lycans fans, you might like this this sound font in particular. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, still on Nextor. I'm actually gonna add this as a second part with a blade in. I'm gonna save some battery space, so just give me exactly a second. Okay, guys, sorry for that. Just had to clear up some space on my cell phone. I'm gonna put a blade in here so you guys can see this a little better. So bear with me. Blade plug comes out. Take a short 24-inch blade. Tighten your retention screw, place it down. Phone. Alright, there you go. Relatively short blade so we can swing it around without hitting anything. And now I give you my custom sound font using Rogue as a base. That's why I'm not selling it, because it's not 100% mine. But I give you Lucian's Call.
I've lived by their rules my entire life. I've protected them, envied them, and for what? I have to be treated like an animal. We are not animals! Is this what you want? We can be slaves, or we can be Lightsaber. Are you with me?
Here we go. So the blaster deflection I haven't amped up to be a little louder than normal, so it's gonna, the hum in the background of the blaster is gonna sound quieter. So you heard that pitch shift? So I'm currently working on the color changing effect because I got a quote from Lucian that I got in mind, but for now it's just the same one as before. But yeah, we got swings. So yeah, gonna work on the sound font a little bit better. One of my favorite parts of this sound fun, and one of the things that I'm most proud about is the force effects. So. And then there's the retraction, which I am extremely proud of myself for doing. Okay, guys, so there you have it. No, I'm just kidding. There's one last part. I'm gonna show you guys in just a second. I can't, unfortunately, hold it up. So I'm just going to unscrew this bit. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna take the blade out so it's not unbalanced. The blade plug back in. So, for those of you who are unaware, of how lightsabers work, there are three main parts to a lightsaber's internal components. There's a power cell that allows the lightsaber to function properly. When the power cell runs out, the lightsaber needs to be charged, similar to how a battery runs out. Then there's a crystal, usually around the middle area of the lightsaber. Power goes from the cell through the crystal, giving it a color. Then it goes through the emitter matrix right around here, and out comes the blade. Usually there's a dial or two. One dial controls the intensity of the blade, the other one controls the length. And for the longest time, I've wanted a crystal chamber with my lightsaber, and now I am pleased to present. I can do this one-handed, let's see. Nope. Okay, I'm just going to slide it right off. Okay, so there's a wolf emitter, there's the choke point, there's the extension, and my first attempt at a crystal chamber. That quartz crystal has been with me since I was 13 years old. It's one of the first crystals I ever got when I went on vacation with my parents to, I think it was somewhere in Manitoba. But this crystal has been with me ever since, and whenever I felt upset, I heard that you could pour energies into a crystal and it'd help you feel better. So I tried to pour in all the negative emotions that I could. I ended up recently purifying it without cleansing out the old emotions. I wanted the crystal to be an accurate representation of me, of my past, present, and potentially future self. But yeah, so there's a base speaker holder here, a recharge port holder section here, battery and soundboard, it's on the other end, to hold it here, and then a crystal chamber here, and what you cannot see from this lightsaber is what's after the crystal chamber, but before all the button wires, and what this retention screw hole is holding. There's a 20 millimeter base speaker holder made by the same guy who makes all these, but it's not holding a speaker. It's just there so the retention screw can hold the chassis in place, so that I can show off the crystal chamber without hiding any of the other features. So yeah, this crystal will remain on until I kill power to the soundboard. And the only way to do that, outside of pulling a wire, not going to ever do that, is to put a kill key in the recharge port. Now, I have, along with all these new components, with the 3D printed chassis and the blade plug, along with all of that, I got 4 kill keys that are kind of turn kill keys that I don't have to pull them out to put power to the rest of the board. I just have to twist it a certain way. And I found out the way that I've oriented the recharge port is that the line on the kill key that you grip to twist, when it's facing the lines here, it's just a happy coincidence, but when the lines are facing, I believe that means that power to the board is good, and then when the line is going away, away from the lines, it kills power to the board. It's amazing to watch. and a happy coincidence. No, there are no coincidences. That was supposed to happen. But yeah, the crystal will remain on until the battery dies because I took off the deep sleep mode on the Prism soundboard because I'm not really a fan of the. I want to be able to look while I'm sleeping. When I'm trying to fall asleep, I want to look over and see the crystal chamber and be like, "Oh, my lightsaber!" Of course, that'll prevent me from sleeping, but tomato, tomato. For those of you who are wondering, in my hometown, it's always tomato. Um, so yeah, specifications from bottom to top. 28 millimeter bass speaker from the Custom Saber Shop. Switchcraft 2.1 millimeter recharge port. 3.7 volt 18650 lithium ion battery from the Custom Saber Shop. If we go over here, we can see a Prism version 5.1 soundboard. That's the LED that's lighting up the crystal chamber. 3D printed chassis from Goth 3 Designs on Shapeways. We got a 12 millimeter red illuminated anti-vandal switch, 16 millimeter purple illuminated anti-vandal switch. Then we have the LED. The LED is a Tricree deep red, royal blue, and green. So I can theoretically have any color I want, but I'm only ever really going to use red and purple. Long live Revan. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. So as an explanation, this lightsaber is done. The outside is exactly the way I want it, minus the two little additions I have to add, the Wolf Claw and Kovu's Fallen Claw. Besides those, it's done. But I've recently found smaller buttons than these, so I can add those smaller buttons and save about 2 inches of lightsaber space, making this a little bit shorter, making it easier to wield. To top all of that off, I'll also be upgrading the soundboard. And because I'm upgrading it to the Crystal Focus, I will need to upgrade the battery, and with it, the charger that comes with it. To a 7.4 volt 18650 lithium ion battery, Crystal Focus version 8 soundboard with a color extender, and 2 of the Switch 22s. They're like tiny, like maybe 2-3 millimeters. If that's a rough guess. They're really like, I think this is how big they are. The retention screw. So I'm going to have 2 of those to fit the purpose of these 2 buttons, seeing as they're not illuminated anyway. What else? No, I think that's it. But because the battery will be essentially double this length, I'm going to have to get a longer chassis or a chassis extension to make sure that this lightsaber fits properly. So I'm going to shrink this section and lengthen this one so that everything fits. But by the end, I will have spent an inappropriate amount of money on this lightsaber. But I only plan on having 2 in my own collection. This is number 1. Number 2 is coming soon. Not soon at all. Probably not for a while. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, leave a like and a comment down below. Share, subscribe as much as possible. And as a question to you all, what would your lightsaber design be? The color, the shape, what uniqueness would you put to it? How would you make your lightsaber represent you, if you could build one yourself? Anyway, may the Force be with you, and have a splendid... I'm dying over this. I'm gonna go swing my lightsaber around, because, God, this is fun. Have a pleasant evening. Peace, and may the Force be with you.